Hello guys, so it is Monday, and unlike a normal Monday, I'm not at work today. I actually booked today and tomorrow off, just to have a little bit of a recharge, and up to now I've had a lovely day. It started with bike cleaning. So today on the vlog I wanted to answer a question I seem to get asked quite a lot, and it is, are cheap bikes good? I think I've done a vlog on this before, but yes, is the short answer. Let me run through why. So I am a very big fan of cheap bikes. Like in the UK here we have Halfords, and Halfords have a brand called Carrera, and everyone thinks that they're not very good bikes because they are the cheap price. In my opinion, I think a bike is only as good as the purpose it needs to serve, and that's an odd thing to say, but I want to show you the bike I'm riding today, and it's not a bike that I show very much on the channel, and I'll tell you why. So this bike is actually a Carrera Vulcan, and I bought it for £80. Yep, second hand for £80. New, they're about £400. Dollars, that's maybe, $600 roughly. Having a guess there. And to me, it's been excellent. I use it to commute to work and back on. It's quite rare that I'll take it out for a ride like this, but it is a hardtail MTB. I've heavily modified it. When I got it, the actual front brake was stuck on. I repaired that, boom. And then I sprayed it a different colour. Then I took the suspension forks out, I kept them at home, and I replaced them with rigid forks. I swapped the brake discs, new chain, new cassette, new chain set with a 1x front because the 3x front bent. but yeah, I've done a lot to it. But there wasn't anything really wrong with it, bar the brake being stuck on when I got it. So with this bike, I'll commute to work and I'll go out maybe once every couple of weeks, just a little spin on it. Knowing that if it broke, it would be very, very cheap to repair. So for example, if I need a new chain, it's £8 because it's 8-speed. When, if you're on something like Ultegra, it's probably about 4 times that, to be fair. So, when it comes to winter, and I'm going through components because I'm riding more off-road and, the weather conditions are bad, it's much cheaper to be out on a bike like this. It's much better to be ruining something that takes a lot less money to replace parts. Another thing I love about cheap bikes is they're very customizable and confidently customizable. So I'm happy to literally rip this bike to absolute shreds and rebuild it without worrying that I've broken something which is going to cost a fortune and very technologically advanced. For example, I wanted to try rigid forks. So I bought some. They were 50 quid. 50 quid. So I ripped out the suspension forks, put in some nice, rigid, and they worked. It's cool. Now don't get me wrong, having a cheap bike has a lot of advantages, but it also, in the world I live in, it has some disadvantages. So let's talk about bike packing. A bike like this, although excellent, it isn't as reliable as, let's say, a newer, more expensive bike. I know that from experience. I've ridden a lot of cheap bikes in my time, and I've ridden some amazing bikes, and the amazing bikes really will just go on forever. The cheap bikes, you do end up replacing parts over time. The next thing is performance. They are definitely not as fast as an expensive bike. They are harder to ride, You know, it's much more limiting in kind of like what size crank arm do you want, all these things. So they are really generic. This bike though is not going to do the job that my Ritchie or my Lipsky could do. And I can tell you that right now. You know, it isn't going to do the job as well. It might do, but it is going to come up with hiccups along the way. Does this bike do the job it's meant to do? Has it served the purpose it's meant to service? Yes.